A road movie is a film genre in which the main characters leave home on a road trip, typically altering the perspectives from their everyday lives, with the films exploring the theme of alienation and examining the tensions and issues of the cultural identity of a nation or historical period. This is all often enmeshed in a mood of actual or potential menace, lawlessness, and violence, and is populated by restless, frustrated, often desperate characters. Ice Age is a 2002 American adventure comedy film produced by Blue Sky Studios and distributed by 20th Century Fox. You may think that intro is just a joke, but at its core, Ice Age is a road movie. A set of characters leave their home and travel across a large area, changing who they are as they go. It's a microcosm of today's world, or 2002's world, put into the context of prehistoric animals to make it palpable for its target audience. Manny is undeniably frustrated by Sid, and Diego is demonstrated to be desperate. Anyway, none of that really matters, but I thought it'd be a fun start to the video. Ice Age was originally pitched to 20th Century Fox in 1997 by producer Laurie Forte. The film, originally envisioned as a traditionally animated movie with an action-oriented tone, was intended to be developed by Fox Animation Studios. Around the same time, Blue Sky Studios, a small visual effects studio in White Plains, New York, was bought out by Fox and reshaped into a full-fledged CG animation film studio, in part due to the recent success of both Pixar and DreamWorks in the field. In light of this, Fox Animation approached Forte with the proposition of developing the film as a computer-animated movie. Fox also opted for the movie to take a more comedy-oriented tone, albeit while still maintaining some dramatic elements, and brought writer Michael Berg in to help emphasize a funnier tone. There's also a whole thing with the character of Scrat, but I'll talk about that a little bit more later on. We open in the freezing cold as Scrat, the lovable saber-toothed squirrel thing, tries to bury his acorn for later. In what will become a franchise staple, this goes devastatingly wrong. But Scrat somehow manages to escape with his life and his acorn. Rest in peace, Scrat. A couple shots which would have been very impressive at the time follow.
Ow, where's Eddie?
He said something about being on the verge of an evolutionary breakthrough.
Really?
Rest in peace, Eddie. John Leguizamo's Sid the Sloth has been left behind by his family as everyone migrates for the winter. Sid proceeds to ruin the salad of these two brontotheriums. Really hope I pronounced that right. And as he runs away to escape, he bumps into Manfred, the woolly mammoth, aka Manny. While now known as a lovable idiot, Sid was almost a very different character. Originally pitched as a hustler who would have been seen conning children and flirting with every female he meets, Sid was also supposed to have a female sloth named Sylvia, voiced by Kristen Johnston, chasing after him, whom he despised and kept ditching. All the removed scenes of her can be seen on the DVD, showing just how far she made it through development. Manny reluctantly helps the defenseless animal, and they end up traveling together, going against the herd and not migrating. Somewhere else across the valley, Diego and his group of Smilodons, aka saber-toothed tigers, decide to get their revenge on a group of ancient humans for all the animals they've hunted. They do this by attempting to abduct the leader's child, Roshan, but his mother decides to just yeet herself off this cliff instead. Soto, the pack's leader, blames Diego for this failure and tasks him with retrieving the child. But before the hunter can find its prey, Manny and Sid come across the baby by the river below.
Us? You two are a bit of an odd couple.
Wow, way to be prejudiced, Diego. Our three series leads meet, and after a tense discussion, the two not trying to kill a child decide to take the kid back to its own kind. With the village recently abandoned, the three join together to catch up with the humans, with Diego secretly leading them to Half Peak where his pack is waiting to ambush them. Manny, of course, takes charge in this journey. Ray Romano is such an alpha Chad. The herd manages to single-handedly cause the extinction of the dodos. Sid flirts with some sloths with massive tits. A shortcut through an icy cave leads to some jokes that accidentally set up the franchise's third and fifth entry, Scrat is still having misadventures, including thinking this picture of an acorn is a real one. Ivy Silberstein, a cartoonist and fashion designer in New York, claimed to have created a, quote, rat-squirrel hybrid back in 1999. According to Silberstein, Fox took notice of the character and repurposed it for use in the upcoming animated film Ice Age. Silberstein spent 18 years battling for the trademark in court. She didn't have any success until 2019 when the Fox Disney Corporation officially agreed to settle the case. Silberstein finally received her trademark on July 7, 2020, and on January 28, 2022, the day the new Ice Age film was released, she tweeted a photo holding said trademark. Silberstein won her 20-year battle for Scrat to be removed from Ice Age, resulting in his very notable absence in the Ice Age adventures of Buck Wild. It's great that she got her character back. It's just a shame it took until the franchise was on its deathbed for it to happen. It's here, in a room filled with cave paintings, that Sid and Diego learn about Manny's past and his previous interactions with the human hunters, in which they slaughtered his family, consisting of his mate and child, leaving Manny a depressed loner. The prehistoric protagonists cross a dangerous bridge suspended over a river of lava. Is anyone else getting deja vu? Rest in peace, Manny. Later, Diego, having had a change of heart, warns Manny and Sid of the ambush awaiting them ahead. They decide to instead spring a trap of their own, managing to catch the saber-toothed tigers by surprise, and, after a brief battle between our scrappy leads and the cat pack, Diego takes a seemingly fatal wound, and the enemy leader takes a definitely fatal one. The baby Roshan is returned to his father and Diego returns, now totally fine. The group then begin to head off to warmer climates. 20,000 years later, Scrat, frozen in a block of ice, ends up on the shores of a tropical island. As the ice slowly melts, an acorn that was also frozen in the same block is washed away before he retrieves it. Enraged, Scrat breaks out of the ice block before he finds a coconut and tries to stomp it into the ground, only to accidentally trigger a volcanic eruption. This is effectively the canonical end to the franchise. Scrat will outlive every other character and likely burn to death on this island. Alone. Acornless. Just like that, a franchise was born. One that would degrade in quality as it went, but then again, which franchise doesn't? Ice Age is a charming little animated movie. At the time, it was certainly visually impressive, and while that clearly doesn't hold up anymore, the visual style of the movie means that it hasn't aged quite as poorly as some efforts from that period. The characters are likeable and are performed by some solid efforts by the main cast, Leguizamo's Sid being the clear standout. While it does seem to draw heavily from other popular movies, it manages to forge its own identity, going from a small story about reuniting a child with its father to motherfucking dinosaurs! It's a good way to spend 80 minutes if you're looking for something simple. And of course, for kids, it's a great watch with a nice little message about how even the smallest of creatures can have a big impact, and that it's never too late to do the right thing. Like, just let this franchise die. Next week, I'm going to be taking a look at the 2017 adaptation of Murder on the Orient Express, directed by and starring Kenneth Branagh alongside an all-star cast. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that or any video. And, if you've enjoyed, I'd appreciate if you could hit the like button down below. It helps out massively with the whole YouTube algorithm thing. The Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild is currently available to stream exclusively on Disney Plus in the United States, and will be available worldwide on March 25th. Why we're getting it later than America when it's a Disney Plus exclusive? Fuck knows. But until next time, guys, I hope you have a beautiful day and an even brighter tomorrow. See ya.